My name is Optimus Prime, and here is an awesome video review from Jesse. Now watch as he lights our darkest hour.
Yeah!
Welcome to my first third-party masterpiece figure. This time we're looking at the X-Transbots Master X Series XP1 Apollyon figure. What am I doing? Why did I get this figure? For my frequent Prime cast listeners, they know that in the past I've talked so much smack about third-party masterpiece figures for being expensive and being too many of them. Like, every third-party company made their own version of Devastator. Every third-party company made their own versions of Masterpiece Dinobots, and so on and so on and so on. Well, I decided, because I've been really getting back into the Masterpiece line, which I've been long overdue for, and I came close to rebuying the MP5 Megatron, but that is definitely the worst masterpiece figure that's been made so far. So decided to give this figure a try, and yeah, we'll get into that in a little bit. And here's the packaging. Got a very simple X-Transbots here, made in China. I really like this side here. It really goes in well with the rest of my masterpieces. You got a like classic masterpiece box style here, and really all this is just a sleeve. Get the big box. Alright, got the main box out of the sleeve now. I don't know what the hell the problem with that was with that sleeve, but I had to rip the sleeve apart to get this box out of there, which is not a big deal. This box is a lot more interesting to look at than that sleeve. From Liberty's Ashes Order Rises. Got this really cool G1 looking artwork on the side. Beautiful picture of Apollyon here. And you know, it's Megatron. I'm not going to ever keep on calling it Apollyon. Maybe it's just referring to which masterpiece Megatron I have, but it's Megatron, so I'm going to call it Megatron. And it can open up much in the same style as those reissue G1 Transformers that came back a while ago. Really cool looking here. Alright, that's enough of the box. Let's go ahead and take a look at Apollyon himself. Or Megatron. And here we have Apollyon out of the package. And this is an amazing looking masterpiece Megatron. The expression on the face is perfect, and I mean perfect. The proportions are so much better than the MP-05 Megatron. It's super solid. First off, before I really get back into this review, I just want to say 99.9% of the time with all my Transformer reviews, I always go from alt mode to robot mode, because the robot mode is usually the big reveal at the end, and no matter what, even if they come packaged in robot mode, I always do vehicle mode first. But with this one, the challenge with this guy is actually getting him to gun mode. I feel like it would be best for the review to show how to do it from robot to gun mode, because once you get that down, going from gun to robot is fairly easy. So I figured we'd do it this way today. So I already replaced the ball joints on this guy, which is fairly simple. You just need to unscrew this piece here and slide out the joint itself and pop in a new one. And these aren't as tight as the first. This is the second wave of Apollyons that was made, and the first wave, the replacement ball joints were crazy tight, and so tight that it felt like you're about to break the figure. These are definitely a lot tighter, but it's not scary tight, and they definitely hold poses a lot better than the ball joints he came with. And his scope, his ion blaster, or his fusion cannon I should say, is a lot smaller in proportions than the MP05, and it looks a lot better with him. But while we go through his accessories and such, I'm going to leave that off. I have not yet got any Decepticon stickers for it. I'm not sure whether or not to go with the regular APOLLYON Repro Labels APOLLYON set, or just get a standard Decepticon sticker with no background. This place right, I don't want to get a sticker with white background or silver background. I want it to just be purple. And the thing with the Repro Label set is that it has those G1 toy squiggles on the front, and I'm not a huge fan of that, even though it's toy accurateness, not too much into that. I guess we'll go over posability first. He has a swivel joint in his neck, and his head can go up and down. And of course, he's got those ball jointed sockets here. He's got more than 90 degree bend in the elbow, and bicep swivel here. His hands, crazy articulated, because these aren't standard Masterpiece hands. These are each segmented at each little joint here, and if you could see that, so he can do all kinds of different crazy poses with his hands. And none of these have popped out as I was kind of expecting to be. These are really, really solid. See, he has like the outline of a Decepticon logo molded into his hand, and look at these panels on his chest we'll get into in a little bit. The only problem I've really had with APOLLYON is the hips, and you've probably seen me mess with them a couple times already, but these do not like to stay on all too much. And there's 3 different locations where they pop on. This peg goes in this hole here, this peg goes in that hole, and this peg goes in that hole. And a lot of times you'll hear a click, especially on this side. You'll hear a click, but I mean, it'll stay there, but it comes off way too easily. I might need to get some clear nail polish to put over these joints just to make that a little bit tighter. And I did have an issue with this hinge here. The first night I had it, this came off, and I saw a little crack in the hinge. I'm not sure if it's molded there or if it broke and came off, but I mean, it stayed on. It hasn't popped off since then. But it goes through a pin. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be molded around it or if it's supposed to be like a mouth that wraps around it. But it doesn't really, doesn't affect the transformation all that much. But really, this hinge is only supposed to go up for added leg articulation. But if I do have any more problems with this, I'm just going to super glue that bit down, because it doesn't really affect the toy all too much. But it is slightly annoying. Go into the legs. The legs so much better than MP05. The legs are a lot chunkier. He uses some really clever bits to give the lower leg some bulk, and you can see this stupid leg hinges flipping everywhere. There's die-cast metal in the feet, and there's some other bits here and there that have die-cast, but it's a great solid toy. Oh, he's got articulation there, over there. He's got waist swivel here. Is got a ratchet. His hip here goes in and out. 90-degree bend at the knee, and a little bit of foot movement. So he's fairly solid when it comes to articulation, but it's really the detail and just the overall personality of this figure is the big selling point. And as far as his fusion cannon goes, you can stick it on the side of his arm like this, or if you want to go for G1 toy position, you can flip it around like this, which I think looks pretty cool, and you can hold it up pretty easily and go back around. It's pretty. One thing is that his ankles do tend to get a little bit weak in certain front or back heavy poses, so keep that in mind. He does come with a bunch of accessories, some new, some old, that we've seen and that we have or have not seen in the previous Masterpiece MP05 figure. First off, this is new. He comes with this mind control helmet that he used to control the Optimus Prime clone, which always seemed kind of funny. I mean, using a robot is using a mechanical helmet to control something. I mean, you'd figure like he normally would just have to, like, you know, reprogram his helmet, his head a little bit just to do the same thing. But it's a cartoon. He comes with the light sword that he used to fight Prime with, and goes in his peg here, just wraps around, looks crazy cool. He also comes with the Blitzwing's gun that he used to kill Prime with, and really nice that the fingers wrap around the handle and the index finger can go around the trigger, and looks pretty sweet. He also comes with this mace that was very similar to the one that came with MP05, although just a bit shorter. The one that came with MP05 was crazy long, and it kind of goes on a similar way as Megatron. You need to transform his hand into the forearm, like so, and this piece will just kind of clip on here, which is easier said than done. There we go. Actually it needs to go through the side, and here we go. Yeah, it looks pretty awesome. We'll go ahead and take that off though. I'm not really a fan of his mace, and it's stuck. Great. Alright, got it off. It's an extra tight connection. He also comes with key to Vector Sigma. Pretty cool. And he has his replacement chest piece to represent that meteorite that got shoved into his chest. And I'm not going to do that because this looks like it's pretty fragile, and I don't want to risk breaking the regular hinge. So we're just going to leave this little bit off. He also does come with all these bits to form his cannon for robot mode, but two reasons why I'm not going to do that. One, it was stupid then back in G1, and it's stupid now. It's completely pointless. Two, I've heard way too many horror stories about these bits breaking off in that cannon based mode to the point where you can't put them together anymore. So I'm not doing that. It just looks dumb. But if you see in G1 Toy do it, then it's nothing special. It's the exact same thing. Quick size comparison time. Now this is the main reason why everyone wanted to get APOLLYON, and I can't say I blame them because this looks awesome. Everyone, since MP10 Optimus Prime first came out, people were pretty pissed off that you know, the MP05 Megatron associated, because everyone needs a Megatron to go along with their Prime, and this is the best we've gotten so far, and they are perfectly in scale of each other. And I think, from at least my angle, not including these little ears here, Megatron might be just a tad bit taller, which is fine by me. But other than that, it's, you know, it's 100% accurate. These two look great together. Now, getting this thing transformed is a task, and it especially doesn't help when the instructions it got are incredibly messed up. Alright, let's take a look at this. So this looks normal here. Oh, handout weapons. Oh, it's already to the end of the transformation, and it's the end, and it's upside down. Next page. Next, behind the steps in transformation, upside down. Still upside down, alternate cannon position in the middle of the transformation. Oh. Now we get to the beginning of the transformation on this page. It is all jacked up, and I had to go through this many times and go to videos for references, and this page is also upside down. So this was driving me crazy here. So this, and yeah, but the comic on the back is right side up at least. Alright, but I waited a few days, to actually exactly a week, to do this video, because this figure takes a lot of practice, and you need to be very careful while transforming this guy, especially for the first time, because there's a lot of fragile bits that could break off. Alright, so but I think I got it well down. It's described that you can transform it with the cannon, but there's no real need to leave it on, so go ahead and take it off and just get everything out of the way. First step is we want to do the legs, and legs are pretty confusing at first. This is where I really started to get the general gist of how much of a pain in the ass this figure is. And you need to lift this little bit up here, take the inside of his foot, fold it in, that piece in, fold his heel up, and go ahead and extend the foot out. Take this little doohickey here, swing it around, fold up what will become a trigger here, fold this piece here, and this will become the inside of the handle, like this. We'll go ahead and do everything on this side and fold this piece down, collapse that down, and get to the back piece here, fold it in, and you can start to see the general idea of what the handle's looking like. And first time I was like, what the hell is all this supposed to be? But after that, it's gets better. And this is a little button on the inside of his thigh, and press that in and push the entire leg up like so. And it doesn't like to do it every time, but it's supposed to, this whole trigger slider is supposed to go all the way in. Alright, I'm not sure why, but I guess I needed to do this piece last and then collapse this in, because for some reason this piece was blocking it. I'm not sure why, because I've done this bit first every time. But I got this leg collapsed in all the way now, so it's get it connected here. And while I was figuring out, I went ahead and did this side already, and fold all this back here. Oh, before we do that, we need to open this piece here in his butt, and this is a little tricky, but we need to, we need to fold this piece up here, and these little tabs we need to fold inward like this, collapse that in, and you need to make sure to fold those back out while going to robot mode, because those help keep the legs attached to the hips. And here, need to kind of pull back on this trigger with your middle finger, I guess, and collapse this piece here to kind of hold it in, and that will make the trigger. And snap these back here, and everything will start clicking together and start looking all nice and good and shiny. And it's actually looking really, really solid. Doing this a few times, I've gotten this down, except for that whole weird leg sliding problem I just had. But yeah, and this holds together just about as well I expected it to. This, even in full-on robot mode, it doesn't really pin together all too well. And now he's half robot, half gun. Arms are pretty simple to transform, although kind of weird. Especially these hinges here. On mine, they're pretty loose. Just like how we did with his mace, we'll fold these hands in. That's the only problem with these highly articulated fingers, is that it's hard to get them in the exact position you need them in until that nub is there. Push the arm in like so, go to outside and fold this piece out, and this will clip in place, and we'll go ahead and do that to this arm here. This piece is a little bit tighter on this side. Okay, fold the arm in, push bicep in, and here we go. And then let's see, next bit is a little bit tricky. We need to kind of untab these arms from these gray pieces, not gray, these like kind of whitish pieces here, and we'll flip those in. Oh, and I forgot to get that screwdriver out. This is one of the most scary pieces about the transformation, and I guess I'll use this one. You need unless you have one super pointy fingernail, you need a tool for this piece, and I don't like it. It's scary as shit. Need to get this piece out here and kind of fold it this way. And this is all plastic right here. This piece here is plastic and it's scary. And fold it down like this. And I'm not sure, I cannot figure out the trick to this part, but somehow we always have to, holy shit, that's the easiest it's ever done it for me. I've always had so much trouble with this piece, but sliding this whole arm assembly out has always been a pain in my ass. That time, I guess the reviewing gods were on my side, and kind of gotta use this tool here to help slide this hinge down, because that part doesn't like to rotate all the way. And go ahead, well, we need to have it out in this position. We'll go rotate the torso around this way, and I'm going to go ahead and flip the scary piece back up. Looks like it's already started to ship some like that. Alright, next, but we need to rotate. This is one of the hardest parts that took me to figure out, because it's why is this blinking? Is it getting hot? Okay, so apparently my camera was starting to overheat, because I'm recording at 60 frames per second this review just to give it a try. This piece, this part here is always confusing, even after all the many times I get it, it's just so finicky. And you need to get this black piece connected here, rotate the arm back around like this, and then fold it in like so. So the hinges need to be a very specific way, or else it's just not going to work. And especially the first and second time, I was like, these pieces are not lining up whatsoever. But practice, you know exactly what you need to do here. And oh, we need to make sure these silver pieces are folded out as well, because they help fill in the gap. And connect them in here, and we'll go ahead and rotate this piece down. This will bring back the backpack, fold that out. I like to rotate the head around just so it gets secure and doesn't damage the face while transforming him. Fold that down, the barrel goes around. And time for the last tricky part. It's not this, just need to make sure this is secure. Is sliding this entire section down, and it's a pain because everything likes to bump into everything here. The idea is to squeeze these red pieces here on the side and everything will slide down, and it actually doesn't look like it's too much in the way today, but I've had problems with this hinge here blocking it, and it's actually going to slide down fairly smoothly today. And wow, thank you, reviewing gods. That went a lot easier than I was anticipating. Let's slide this piece here, and now's the time where we just start pushing and making sure everything is clipped on together, because it's your reward for transforming to what I believe is one of the most difficult transformers in history. As MP5 was a nightmare, and this one is much more finicky. Alright, so yeah, you're going to probably spend a few minutes just pushing everything together and get it all straight lined up. Alright, got everything all clipped together, and this is a standard gun mode, and it looks phenomenal. It doesn't have the Walter P38 logo on that was on this side, just like on MP05, but it is really solid. It fits in a lot better in my hand than the gigantic MP5. Although I gotta say, it is a little bit panel line looking here in gun mode, and just the standard gun mode, just a standard gun mode on MP05, I have to say does look better than this, just because that's a lot cleaner looking mode. But this still looks great. We gotta fold this tab up around to put on the scope, like so, and take this here, slide it onto the gun. I've not been able to take this orange piece off of this one yet, but I was easily able to take it off the scope. You already get a sense of how big it is, and this piece will slide this way onto the handle, this silly little bit here, and there we go. And this thing is pretty big. Go ahead and set him up right there. I think this is about 25 inches long from what I read, from the tip here to the back there, and it looks really nice. A lot nicer than I was expecting, and it holds well too. Like the first time I was like able to do this successfully, I was terrorizing my wife with it, and she wasn't too amused. But yeah, it obviously doesn't shoot anything, but I do want to get this piece off eventually, but I wasn't too worried about this one. I definitely just wanted to get this one off, and it's fun. Believe it or not, transforming this thing is fun once you get it down. It does take a lot of practice. It's it won't be fun. The first night I had with it, I was practicing with it, I was sweating, I was stressing about it, I was constantly afraid I was going to break it. But it's once you figure out exactly the order of things that you need to do, and how to do them, how careful you need to be, what's points to stress about, it's a very fun, satisfying transformation, and you get a lot of feeling of accomplishment after doing such a thing. Alright, gun mode, pretty nice. Honestly, he cannot be held by Prime here. Alright, so let's get this guy back into robot mode and do final thoughts. I was kind of, when I was middle of transforming this guy back into robot mode, I was thinking, man, I wish I would have actually started off with final thoughts, so I did have to wait all this time, but it's alright. It's actually, this was the fastest time I was actually able to transform from gun to robot mode. Alright, as my first masterpiece third-party figure, is this toy worth it? Yes, he is. This is the second wave of them, and it was a slightly bit more expensive the second time around, but I still think it's worth it. It's a complicated figure, and I do regret not getting any other masterpiece third-party figures before this one, because this was a kind of a tough one to be introduced to. But now that I've been broken in, I'm going to be getting more third-party masterpiece figures, especially with Quake Wave being reissued. Definitely going to be getting that guy when he comes out in September. That's when once I start getting back into masterpieces, I wish I would have gotten the first time around. But this guy is awesome. Opposability is pretty good. The articulation of his fingers is awesome. The amount of accessories he comes with is amazing. The detailing on the sword is really nice. Robot mode is spot on. I mean, it's just perfect. There's some few issues that I wish weren't so complicated, like just getting his hips to stay together is a little bit too complicated for me. The scary hinges are scary. There's no other way to put that. Once you replace the ball joints on this one, it's super solid. I'm still undecided if I should get the Repo Labels APOLLYON set, because I need a Decepticon symbol here, but I don't want the squiggly things, and I don't want all the other stuff. Should I just get a plain old Decepticon symbol here with no background, or should I get the Repo Label set? Let me know in the comments below, because I want to do something else to this figure to make it better. I wanted to make more Megatron-y and not Apollyon-y. Just let me know what I should do, because I'm on the fence. I definitely recommend people buy this guy, especially if you have MP10 Convoy or the TRU Masterpiece Optimus Prime. He's decent price. I mean, not as much as a lot of third-party companies are charging for masterpiece figures, but it's not super cheap also, but it's worth getting, and it looks great in your collection. It looks like, besides the fingers, which are obviously out of Hasbro or Takara's budget, this looks like it would be a great Takara Tomy masterpiece Megatron. Another reason why I decided to pick this up was because I doubt they're going to make another Takara. I doubt Takara is going to make another masterpiece Megatron in the same idea as Prime, because the first MP05 went through so many legal troubles overseas that I don't think that they would see it as being worth it. But that's my personal opinion. I doubt we'll be getting a Megatron, maybe a Galvatron, which I'm hoping for. But yeah, really into the masterpiece line. Next year is going to be crazy awesome for masterpieces with Beast Wars, Ironhide, some more stuff coming out this year, and officially masterpiece line is my favorite toy line so right now, and definitely I do not regret getting this guy one bit, and I'm full-heartedly recommending it. And you can pick this guy up at BigBadToyStore.com. You can click the link in the description below. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/SSJAutobot. You can Instagram me too, SSJAutobot, and you can follow me at Twitch at twitch.tv/SSJ_Autobot, and I'll catch you next time.